Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Uncommon Man podcast. Hey, y'all, we got something real special for you guys tonight. We're going to do a top 10 national signing day list. Okay, so Mason is going to be our special guest today, and he's just going to run through the top 10 national signings. The reason why we're doing this podcast because we want you guys to understand that these high school players go into college and then hopefully they're going to land on one of your favorite NFL teams. So it's good to go ahead and get familiar with these guys now, especially some of the real top prospects, because often those are the ones that's going to go on to do great things. So we're just going to go ahead and get familiar with them now. Mason, go ahead and take us away.
All right, how y'all doing, man? My name is Mason. Very big into college football recruiting, recruiting as a whole. I'm a big OU fan, as you can see. So I follow OU recruiting.
Awesome.
But overall, that's how I kind of got involved with recruiting to OU, because I always wanted the players we're getting to come in for the freshman class, see who's coming in, who is going to take the next starting spot when a senior leaves. Like, for example, when Baker left, I was curious who's going to take that spot. Ended up being Kyle Murray, a transfer, not a recruit. Actually, fun little fact about OU real quick. This will be the first time Lincoln actually has one of his own quarterbacks from a recruiting class come in and take the spot and not transfer. So this little.
What do you think of him so far?
You said what?
What do you think of him so far?
With Spencer Rattler?
Yes, sir.
Well, overall, for a redshirt freshman, you can't really complain too much. If I was to compare him to anyone right now in his shoes, that's that Sam kid from North Carolina. Because last year he was a true freshman out of North Carolina, and he was doing amazing, honestly. For a true freshman at North Carolina to come in and play as well as he did, that's my comparison to him, is Sam. Because they both come in not really knowing anything about the college landscape for their first games and both really having an amazing freshman year. Granted, I will say Spencer had that little year to learn under Jalen Hurts and Lincoln get a feel for the system as a whole. Yeah. Sam didn't. He came in as a real true freshman and started. So there is a little difference, but I still, if I had to make a comparison, I'd probably say Sam from North Carolina, hands down. So I like him a lot, honestly.
Sweet, buddy.
Cool.
So I've got these pulled up here. If you want to go over them and talk about what your tops are, as opposed to who actually ended up being like the 247 tops, if that works for you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So
Sweet.
Basically, with my top 10, I tried not to go too heavy with 5 stars to the top recruits, just because if anyone really ever follows recruiting, you're going to know who the top 5 stars are. It's just hands down. You're going to know who Corey Foreman is. You're going to know who he is. He's number 1 recruit. He's a defensive lineman. He has crazy technique. Actually, he is on my top 10, not going to lie, but he's such a crazy freak athlete that you can't not – anyone that's doing a top 10 recruits in 2021, you're going to include him. Yeah. You're just going to. So let's go ahead and start off.
This is so wonderful having you on to sit here and talk about this with us too, dude. Because I mean, we have absolutely no clue. Outside, we try and keep up with the college focus as much as possible. But with this being your area of expertise, man, this is fantastic. We really appreciate you dropping all this knowledge on us.
Oh, no problem. Anytime.
Sweet.
Like
dude.
I said, I watch y'all's podcasts, believe it or not, whenever on YouTube, because Dave said Dave is a friend of mine. And he was telling me about it. And, I know y'all are both big Bronco fans, so I know y'all like to watch the college kids and see who the Broncos Denver may draft or who they may get out for agency. That's who didn't get drafted. Like Motley, y'all just got at the corner. He came from OU. He was undrafted free agent, went to Tampa, and I guess he got dropped from Tampa. I don't know the whole story. I didn't do too much looking into him, but
correct.
I know he's on the Broncos now.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we just picked him up recently. So, and obviously just completely by necessity at this point, considering our entire backfield is injured at this point. So.
Oh, yeah, I feel you. I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan. Our whole line's messed up, so.
Yeah, your defense is wrecked just in general.
Our corners, yeah. Yeah,
Hi, buddy. When you were talking about Corey Foreman, he also pops up obviously on the number 1 list here. I'm unfamiliar with it. Why don't you go ahead and make us apprised of what exactly you're referring to and what traits they bring? Okay,
so with Corey coming out, he was first. I want to say he was committed to Clemson at first. He ended up decommitting, and I don't know the whole story. Like I said, I try to do as much digging on because, like I said, I pay for insider information on 247, and I try to dig into some of these guys. With him, it really didn't say why he decommitted, honestly, and I'm thinking it's more of a system-based problem. I think because if you look at Clemson's D-line, they always have a stout D-line. Hands down,
right,
every year in
sure.
college football, you can, for the past 4 to 5 years, you can count Clemson's going to have a top D-line.
Yeah, and they always go to Oakland, so I mean, or I guess Las Vegas now. So
yeah, right.
That's a one-way pipeway straight to Oakland.
Whatever team claims the Raiders at this point, whatever state, city, whatever.
Yeah, it's confusing now. You still have Oakland fans claiming them as Oakland, so.
or the Los Angeles fans still claiming them too. That's a wild one.
Yeah, I still can't believe that. That's crazy to me too. But
all right, so Foreman. So obviously he decommitted from Clemson, maybe because he didn't want to kind of get pushed on down the depth chart with as much stacked talent as they have. So that's unfortunate. Where did he end up going?
He's actually not committed yet. He's still looking. That's the thing that's so crazy. That's why, like you see right there on the screen, it's USC and LSU. Honestly, I'm gonna say this. From what I'm seeing, he took a visit to LSU not too long ago. He went down to Baton Rouge. I want to say because so basically, COVID, make it where you can't instantly shut down all visits. You can't, no coaches at all can have any type of physical contact with the players. So what players have been doing with this whole shutdown is they basically not copy, but they saw what Caleb Williams did. For those who don't know, we're going to talk about Caleb Williams here a little bit, actually. He's on the top 10 list. He's a number one quarterback. He's a 5-star recruit. He's committed to OU back in 4th of July. At first, I want to say he was leaning towards LSU. They end up, something happened with all that, and ended up committing to OU. Anyways, he started something called a Sooner Summit. Basically, what was he led a full, basically like a big get-together down in Norman. All the top recruits flew down to meet him there, and they had their own basically visit. Nothing to do with the university at all. They had their own visit. LSU did the same thing, and basically, I can't remember who the player was. I want to say it was Mason Smith, and he committed today to LSU. He's a 5-star D tackle. I want to say it was him that started it, but don't quote me 100%. But anyways, it was a group effort. He came down. Who else did? Corey Foreman came down. Of course, Mason Smith came down, and a bunch of DBs. I can't remember all their names because there's so many DBs. Because like it says DBU. I call LSU DBU. So a bunch of DBs came down.
And,
so
and justifiably so, too, dude. They are fantastic. So.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Derek Stringley Jr., he's going to be the next big thing in the NFL once he gets in the draft. So keep an eye on him. So, like I said, I think LSU, it says USC. He is from California. He goes to Sentinel High School, which is a big-time high school out there in Cali. They pump out D1 players all the time. So he goes to a top-name high school. I could see him going to USC, but honestly, I think that LSU visit might play a role, especially with Mason Smith, because they want to play together. I heard Mason Smith and Corey Foreman want to play together. So with Mason Smith committing today, I think LSU might have locked him up. Corey Foreman, the number one recruit in the 2021 class today. I think they might have locked him up. I think with that visit and him committing today, you just locked up Corey Foreman. So I think he's leaning towards LSU.
Okay.
That's my
all right. So who's your number 2?
So number 2 is actually a kid that I don't know. He's a 5-star too, honestly. But the reason why I put him in my top 10 is really because if you look at his position and his height, his weight, everything, he's a unicorn. Basically, he is. In his position, he's a unicorn. His name is James Williams. He should be the number 13th ranked recruit. He's committed to Miami. He's 6'5", 218, plays safety.
Oh gosh, yeah.
How is that possible, dude?
I've never heard of that.
Oh my god, that's like, dude, he's taller than Cam Chancellor.
Bro, I don't understand.
It's like having Isaiah Simmons
oh my god,
Isaiah Simmons is safety. Gosh. Hey, but let's face it though. This guy, he's probably going to Miami as a safety, but they're probably going to convert him to either an inside linebacker or an outside backer.
Oh, he's definitely a hybrid.
But there's just no way for him at his size, and I'm pretty sure this kid probably runs a 4.4 that he's going to stay at safety. I just don't see it.
No,
dude, I gotta be honest. I hope he does though. How awesome would that be? That would be so groundbreaking.
Yeah.
Like to be locked into that position.
With James, the thing I like about James the most, though, is, for one, he plays – so here's the thing about a lot of these kids that are in the top 10 or the top 5 stars. a lot of these kids, if you look at them, they play at big-name high schools. So they're playing the best of the competition in their states. So a lot of these kids have shown what they can do against top competition. So with James, the reason why I like him so much is he comes from American Heritage. For guys who don't know, American Heritage is a high school out in Florida. They play IMG Academy. They play St. Quiet. They play all the top Florida teams. So, and I've watched a high school game of his on TV because I was curious to see how good he was. Because how I found out about him was I found out about him back in 2019. That's how I heard about him. I was watching some on YouTube, another team. He used to go to another high school. I can't remember the name of the high school. It's like Western something. It's in Florida too. Western something Wildcats. And I was watching their game. I look, and I see a kid that's playing safety that's taller than the O-line on the other team. I'm like,
right.
I'm looking there. I'm like, something doesn't add up. Is this kid – who is this kid? Sure enough, I look him up. The kid's 6'5", and he's a safety. He's in the 2021 class. I automatically start there. That kid's going to be a 5-star. I don't know who's going to get him, but whoever gets this kid's commitment, you're going to have yourself – I think Isaiah Simmons – based on their Isaiah Simmons, the one that came from Clemson and plays for Arizona now. A hybrid. You're going to have another hybrid. Now, I think personally that he's going to be a lot better than Isaiah Simmons. Me personally, that's just how I feel. Because the thing about Isaiah Simmons is that he loves contact. If you watch him play, he loves contact. He looks for contact. He wants to hit somebody.
Right.
He's a ball hawk too, but he loves hitting people. He loves putting his shoulder down. So to me, I think he can end up being a linebacker too if he wants. If he ends up getting a little bit more weight added to him, like 30 pounds, maybe 25, he could be a linebacker in college football. I think.
Right.
So honestly, I think that's one of my favorite. Actually, that's probably my favorite recruit on my whole top 10 is James Williams.
Nice,
because his basically his gifted ability. It's like his natural gifted abilities, height, weight, all that.
All right, number 3.
So number 3, let's see who we have here. Number 3, let's see. So number 3 is a little bit weird, honestly. The one I'm going with here. So he's a quarterback, and the reason why I picked him is because if you watch Michigan this year, you know they're struggling. They're having a bad year, them and Penn State. But he's ranked. He should be ranked 22nd. His name's JJ. He's a quarterback. He's about 6'3", 190. And here's the thing I'm interested about him. If you've watched Michigan, Jim Harbaugh is under a lot of commotion because he can't get his offense on track.
Yeah, dude, he's been
there before.
Perennial disappointment, especially even in Michigan.
Oh, yeah. The money that they're paying Jim, they should be going to playoffs and competing with Ohio State every year.
Or even going to playoffs.
Yeah, they should be. There's no reason why they should have to worry about, we're playing Ohio State. Oh, my God, it's a loss. No, you shouldn't feel that. You should, we're going this game. We're going to beat Ohio State. We're going to go to the Big Ten Championship. We're going to Indianapolis. We're going to playoffs.
Right.
That's not the truth.
They stink.
That is not happening.
That's the only reason why they brought him there.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Michigan would be world beaters by now. It ain't happening.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember who was whatever. We'll talk about that off screen. But yeah, man. So what about JJ intrigues you so much?
So basically, the thing that intrigued me so much about him is that there's a competition in recruiting for quarterbacks called the Elite 11. Y'all probably heard of it. Mm-hmm. A lot of top-name quarterbacks right now in the NFL have went through Elite 11. Jared Goff went through there. I've seen Deshaun Watson went through there. I want to say Andrew Luck went through there.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All these guys have been there. So the thing about the Elite 11 was going into it, people thought Brock or Caleb Williams. Brock is a Georgia commit. He's a Georgia commit. And I want to say he's ranked 14th in the nation. He's a Georgia commit. He's another 5-star.
Vandegrift?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's not on my top 10, but he's just honorable mentions because we're talking about the Elite 11. But anyways, going into it, everybody said, Caleb Williams, Brock, those are your 2 guys. Everyone else, throw them out the window. I watched the Elite 11, and let me tell you something about JJ. The way he pushes the ball down the field to his wide receivers on 7-on-7 amazed me. The arm talent's there. He can throw it in tight windows. I was seeing corners really covering, blanketing his wide receivers, and he throw it in the tightest hole I've ever seen a quarterback throw it in. and it's spot on. He keeps driving the ball down. Goal line, when he gets to the red zone people should know this. The red zone is easily the hardest place to score because you don't have that much field left on the ground. You don't have much to cover with. You can't. They know you're going to run the ball, and if you don't, you're going to pass it. You're going to throw a slant or you're going to throw a short route. So you're kind of not left with many play calls there. So when he got to the red zone, every time he'd find the open guy. Every time. And for a quarterback his age to be able to do that against talent like that and a Nike, or most of those corners are Nike opening guys. So against Nike opening corners, that to me, I think he won the Elite 11. I think he was the MVP of it. He wasn't. It was Caleb Williams, but I think he earned it that 7-on-7. So maybe the scouts saw something I didn't, but when I watched, he was a man on a mission. And right there, and I think that's what gave him his 5th star, honestly. I don't think he was a 5-star before that. I think he was a 4-star, but I think they gave him his 5th star after that. So they gave him some kind of credit, but I think he should have been MVP, honestly.
So you think he's going to be getting squandered at Michigan, dude?
I think here's the thing I think if Jim can't get it done with this kid, then get rid of Jim. That's what
Let's be honest. This kid, he's probably going to outlast Jim Harbaugh. You know, let's just be honest.
Yeah,
he's
that's
going
true.
to be there a lot longer because probably his freshman season, if they see that he can't get it done with that kid, after his freshman season, he's probably gone.
Oh yeah, I think they need to get it. I think when this kid comes on campus, that freshman year, I think the boosters are going to look at him and say if he can't get it done with that kid, it's over. I don't think his freshman year. I don't think it's going to happen that way. I think they got to give Jim at least 2 years with this kid or 3 years with this kid to see results. I don't think that's going to happen though. I think Jim's already under a hot seat right now, so I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're going to want to see wins as soon as that kid gets on campus. They're going to want to see a Trevor Lawrence story. That's what they're going to want to see.
Hot take, folks. You heard it here first, courtesy of Mr. Mason, right there. Bam.
Yeah, right here. All right, so let's go to number 4.
So number 4, I'm actually going to go with another Michigan recruit.
No shit, Michigan.
Like I said, I don't like Michigan, but this recruiting class they have could be a very deadly on the opposite side of the ball. His name is Davion Edwards. He should be ranked 44th. He's a running back. So the reason why I like him so much is his build. He is built like you would think he was a bodybuilder, honestly. He ain't that big, but for a kid his age and he's only 5'10", and he's about a good – he says 203, but I saw him do some workouts recently. He's about a good 215 now, maybe 220. He's got some weight on him now. He's put some weight on. So he's a bigger kid now. And also the way he hit runs, I remember watching his highlight tape. The way he hits the hole, you can tell he hits it with like so much. Like he just the speed, the power. You can just see it. You can just see he's a hard runner. It's gonna take more than one guy to bring him down, and that's what you need. My thing is, if you play running back, you have to make the first guy miss. You can't. If you can't make the first guy miss, you're not a D1 running back. You're not an NFL running back. This kid can make 2 or 3 guys miss. He can run you over. He can juke you out. This kid's literally all-purpose back. He can catch out the backfield. To me, he reminds me of Joe Mixon.
Okay.
A bigger Joe Mixon.
Okay. All right, so let me ask you this.
Interesting.
Because I'm very critical of running backs because I say to be an elite running back, you have to do 3 things. You have to be able to run, block, catch. Okay, so he can run and he can catch. Can he block?
So on his highlight film, he didn't really show much of him blocking, like pass blocking for the quarterback whenever he came out.
Which I know that's not the sexiest thing to see is somebody in the blocking.
Yeah,
but if
so
you get your quarterback
that right
killed,
there.
Yeah, right.
That's
a great point, David.
Yeah, that was a great point. No, I do agree. Running backs have to be able to block because, I mean, let's be honest. If a lineman misses a block, let's say a linebacker, or they miss a blitz from a linebacker, that running back has to be able to take that block. He has to be able to block him home for at least 3 seconds. So
yeah, otherwise your quarterback's going to get massacred. So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, no, I agree with 100%. Honestly, from the film I watched, he did not show any type of blocking. And that's one thing I didn't think of at the time, but now think of it, I can't tell you 100%. No film shows that, so we're going to wait till he gets to Michigan. Honestly, we're going to wait and see what he does at Michigan. The way he's built, I don't see why he couldn't be able to block a linebacker, honestly.
Right. Yeah, 215, 220, 5'11". Yeah, he should be able to go pretty low and it at least burst up. Give him an extra couple seconds.
Lowest man wins. That's what I was looking at. Lowest man wins.
Right.
True. Very true.
So,
all right. So let's go to number 5.
So, with number 5, a kid that I'm really, really, really interested about, and I don't know. He kind of took me for surprise. I know who he committed to. So, his name's Silver. That's his last name, Keyshawn Silver. He should be ranked about, I say 32 in it. I want to say 32 or 33. He may be 32. He's committed to North Carolina.
32, you nailed it.
Ugh.
All right, 32. He's 6'6", 275. A
Solid.
big, yeah,
Solid,
big kid. So the reason why I like him so much is, for one, I don't know if you know, his vertical's a 35. And for a kid and for a D lineman, you need hops because you need to build bat balls down whenever you can't get to the quarterback. That helps a lot. So I like his vertical. Also, the kid runs a 4.9. Do I think he can get that down to a 4.8? Or I think he should be able to get that down. But 4.9,
he'll have to work on that.
But the thing is, 4.9.
That's slow for a 6'6" dude.
Yeah.
That guy is cruising.
So, and here's the thing I love about him. So the thing I love about these guys is most of these kids that are D linemen, they played basketball. They didn't start off playing football. They're basketball kids because they're 6'6". So they got that basketball. So the thing is, when you play basketball, you got to be able to move your legs. You got to be able to get around tight corner. That's perfect for a D lineman. For a lineman in general. Not even just the offensive lineman. You got to be able to move your legs. And watching this kid, I watched him in the combine. And the way he's doing one-on-ones, not full pads. It was some kind of weird. They just had the shirts on. They were doing one-on-ones. I'm talking about he was bulldozing kids. Offensive linemen that they're like 6'8". Big kids that look good, 280. They should easily destroy them. He's doing swim moves, getting past them. If he needed to finesse you, he'll do a spin move. If he wanted to bulldoze you, power move you, he'd go right through you and get to the back. This kid, I'm telling you right now, I don't know what Mack Brown's doing right now at North Carolina. I'm a fan of. I hate Texas. I hate Mack Brown there because I hate Texas so much. But I give Mack Brown props. He is turning around North Carolina. If you told me 2 years ago North Carolina right now would be ranked this year, I would call you a liar. I wouldn't believe you. If you told me right now that they get a 5-star kid with this type of talent like Silver, no, never. So what he's doing right now at North Carolina, mind blows me. So shout out to Mack Brown. He's going to have a first-round pick in this, I think. I think this kid will end up being a first-round pick.
Yeah, well, I mean, North Carolina's had a handful of them over the last, 5-6 years anyway. So that's, it's not outside the realm of capability. They've got a few that slip through the pipes, and with him being a local boy, they're in North Carolina. That stands to reason, but
that's one thing I will say. Since Mack Brown's got there, every now and then they have those kids, like you said, that are homegrown, that either go to Clemson or South Carolina because it's still close to home, but you're going to the SEC or you're going to a school like Clemson that's always in the championships. They're always in the playoffs.
Yeah, they're basically just whitewashed FSU for the ACC. So
yeah, basically. So no, I give Mack Brown that. He's done a good job of keeping all the kids in North Carolina. And that's the thing. If you can keep kids in high school football in your state and you can keep them inside your state and not let them go anywhere else, you're in good shape right there.
He's following the old Texas recruitment strategy because, back when he was at Texas, all Texas kids wanted to go to UT. And so I guess he's taking the same recruitment strategy to North Carolina and keeping all the kids at home.
Yeah, now all Texas kids want to come to U of H, baby. Whose house? Coog's house. What's up?
Thank God he left because OU lately, a lot of our talents have come from Texas. So Baker, Kyler, CeeDee Lamb. Hey, I'm all for it.
What a gem CeeDee Lamb's been too, man. It's absolutely. Yes, that guy has been the dream of Dallas, man. If they had taken him in the same draft in place of I don't know, Demaryius Thomas or that other clown right now who can't pass COVID for Baltimore, which will not be named. But so, dude, can you imagine like how good Dallas would have been for the last 5-6 years with the quality of receiver or quarterback that they had with like a peak Elliott, a peak Dak Prescott, and then CeeDee Lamb right there in like year 2 to 3. That'd been wild, man. Because CeeDee Lamb is
I wish Jerry Jones was a different animal. That would help too. That would go a little bit long ways.
I wish, disappear for good, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Not going to wish anything or say anything, but
really
Jerry,
be upset about that.
Vacation, go for it.
Yeah, by that I mean, that long walk off a short pier.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
So
number six, I'm gonna go with the OU boy.
Nice.
Caleb Williams.
Homer. Where are we at?
Hey. Here's the thing about Caleb Williams. He should be ranked number 6 in the nation.
You got
quarterback. Number 1 in his position. So here's the thing about Caleb. Caleb Williams, if you look at his frame and the way he's built, he's a thick guy. He's built. He's got a little build to him. 6'1", about 205, 206, maybe 210. Not sure. He's about up there in 200 somewhere. Anyways, he's a dual quarterback. He won the Elite 11 MVP, which I thought JJ should have won it, but my boy kept winning it. No complaints. But
all right, win-win for you.
Yeah, win-win for me. So I'm all for it. So here's the thing about Caleb that I like. 1, the kid runs a 4.5 in his 40.
Wow.
And if you look at his build, that's impressive alone. His vertical is 36. For a quarterback to have a vertical of a 36, it's crazy to me.
So he's like an athlete that can throw.
You said what?
He's like an athlete that can throw.
Yeah, basically.
So how is his throwing action, whatever? I don't even really count that as motion. I would say just like his full pose. So
from what I heard, just doing research and just paying attention to the wide receivers he's throwing to, one of the guys named Mario Williams, he's on here. He's about, I want to say he's somewhere ranked in the 40s or 50s somewhere on the ESPN or 247 board somewhere on here. He's committed to OU as a wide receiver. They're throwing balls, and Mario said this is the cleanest pass he's ever caught in his whole career, his whole football career. It's the cleanest motion. The way the ball comes out of his hand, it's like Spencer. Not like Spencer, because Spencer's throwing motion is insane to me. The way it comes off his hand, too, like so effortless. But they're saying the way Kip throws a ball, you could see a Spencer and a Patrick Mahomes in him, but it's Caleb's. It's his own. Mm-hmm. But it's very similar to what you see from Patrick and Spencer. It's very, very different release, but it's very similar to theirs. He makes it his own. So the thing about him that's so unique about him is that he can play under center. A lot of kids in high school don't play under center no more. They're more shotgun, pistol-based, more spread out. That's why I like him so much. And the thing about Lincoln Riley is Lincoln will go in any type of formation that will give him a win. If he feels like playing under center a couple plays will get him a win, he'll do it. I don't feel like me, for example. I don't feel comfortable Spencer going under center. Because I know at Pinnacle High School in Arizona, he didn't play under center. So he wouldn't be uncomfortable with it. So I could see him fumbling a snap under a center, under Creed Humphrey. I could see it. With Caleb.
So what, is he just not a good play action quarterback? I mean, that's a problem for a pro style.
Yeah. Spencer so when I watched him in high school with Pinnacle in Arizona, who's the other quarterback? There's another quarterback behind him. Actually, now the other quarterback that played behind Spencer went to Michigan, and I can't remember his name. But the thing that kind of made me question something was when he came in the game, they would do it under center. They would go play action. They will just, they go under center. But whenever Spencer came back from an injury, you never saw it again with him. You never saw an under center. So that made me question, okay, is he not comfortable under center? And the more research I've done on these newer quarterbacks, a lot of them haven't played under center since Pee Wee football.
Well, that's wild.
So for Caleb to still be comfortable playing under center, and even right now, it's bizarre to me. And for y'all who don't know, he goes to Gonzaga High School. It's a school in Washington, D.C. They're a private school. They're world beaters apparently out there in Washington, D.C. They face the best of the best in DC, and they're one of the few high schools that I know that still runs under center. They still do the shotgun and all that, but they run under center too. And for me, to see him actually like excel under center, it's bizarre to me because, like I said, the most of the research I see, a lot of these quarterbacks that are in his recruiting class or in the past 3 to 4 years, they don't play under center like that no more. It's more of a shotgun, spread them out type of base offense.
Shout out to that head coach because obviously he understands that the kids having that lack of knowledge playing under center really hurts them as they progress and even when they get to the NFL because that's a problem with a lot of QBs. They can't play under center. So then you have to go back to, okay, well, we got to put them in shotgun. Well, you can't just run out of shotgun the whole game.
So let me ask you this question.
Mm-hmm.
So since y'all are Broncos fans, y'all tell me this. With Drew Lock, when he plays under center, does he look comfortable? I haven't watched very much Denver games this year because when I'm at work, I try to watch Denver games, but I'm always so busy, so I don't get to watch much of Denver games. Does Drew Lock look comfortable under center when he does get put under center? If he has, I haven't watched many Denver games.
More so now than he used to. I mean, you can tell exactly. You brought up a great point there, Mason, and that's a fact of he literally played out of the shotgun. What was it, like 78% of his snaps when he was in college?
Missouri.
So
he played at Missouri. I remember that. He played at Missouri.
Correct. Yeah. So while he was at Mizzou, I mean, luckily we were blessed enough to get his tight end in this draft. But exactly that, dude. He was just taking snaps from the shotgun. And I didn't even take that into account. But it took till about – and we know that there's always going to be growing pains with the new offense. But it took till about, probably 2-3 weeks ago, we started seeing him actually get really comfortable in the play action. And because of that, it's been prospering at this point. So, yeah, man, dude, that's a great point. No, he was for the last couple of years, the offense looked really confused at points in time when he would have to sit there and squat down in between the center's legs.
Yeah, see, I was curious about that because if you look at Kyle Murray, imagine Kyle Murray playing under center. Wouldn't look right. His career be over. Yeah. No.
Although, I mean, technically, I guess he could just go ahead and, even at a stand, what is he, 5'7"? So even just standing straight up, he could just grab the ball right out from between the center's hands and be like, nah, I got him.
They tried boosting to 5'10". I'm like, he's not 5'10".
They're like, nah, we're not falling for it, G.
Don't worry about it. They just gave him some, elevated cleats.
Yeah,
platform cleats.
No. And sure enough, when he got to the combine, he's 5'9". The NFL combine, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. No.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So that's been the first half segment that we've got for this portion, talking about the high school recruits. Obviously, everything just dropped today, primarily who people are going to commit to. We're blessed enough to have Mason. We've got part 2 coming up for you guys here pretty soon. And that should be dropping right after this. So we appreciate all you guys' time. Mason, we'll see you on the next episode, buddy.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
No problem.